just in this part here, I will just take you to one model. You know what? These models are my models. So number 2, number 3, number 4, those are models I created myself and I uploaded them to my account on Sketchfab. However, I'm really wanted to show you the model on the top. Okay, so let's go ahead and click on the model on the top. And so I don't know if there is any security issue. Okay, do you want to proceed? Yes. Okay, now here is our model and very simple. I'm going to click on this picture here. I don't know why it's just saying there is a privacy problem here. Anyway, I just don't know whether it's proceed. Yeah, proceed. Unsafe. What? Yeah, I know it's very safe. So you just have to be patient because again, those are millions and millions of points, and the website will take time to render the scene. So this is our product if we use drones. Okay, and I know some of you may think that this kind of video game that's not real. However, the surprise is this is real, and that's not a video game. And with your mouse, you can simply stop. You can zoom out, you can zoom in, you can even move left and right, up and down. You can use control. I think control, it allows you to rotate in 3D. So I want everyone to see, and this again, this is a real survey where we have a full textured 3D model for our area. Do you think this is something they can do with GPS? Is that something you can do with photogrammetry? Yes, only photogrammetry can do that. And I know that you can do that also with laser scanner, but photogrammetry also can do that in a cheaper way. Okay, GPS cannot do that. Total Station cannot do that. Only photogrammetry and laser scanner. A full textured 3D model that contains all the object at the time when you collect your photos. Okay, so something that you need to understand that the density of the point is super high. This is something you never get it with Total Station because simply you're going to spend your whole time to survey a point every 1 centimeter or 2 centimeter. Okay. In photogrammetry, that's kind of a very natural product. You will get a point cloud with point density, maybe 2, 3, 4, 5 centimeter. It depends on how high you fly above the ground. Okay. So this is a good thing or bad thing? I'm asking you. Have a high density point cloud. Is that good thing or bad thing?
Good for the image, I guess, and bad to process, maybe.
It's a good thing for the surface representation for sure. If my surface is very dense, I get a good representation of the ground. I can see very little details on my object. However, the bad thing about it is this requires a high processing power. It needs a lot of RAM, a powerful computer to simply process your data. And I know some of you will say, what do you mean? Watch this, please. You know, when I zoom out here or I left and right, do you understand what's happening if I do this? Do you understand what's happening when I do this? I'm pretty sure that you don't understand. We just enjoy moving very quickly left and right, but then the software or the processor on the background will have to re-render the whole scene from your location right now and from your angle. So if I go up or go down, every time I do one move, the software will have to quickly re-render the scene again. That's something requires a lot of calculations and computation. Okay. Anyway, so I'm not going to spend more time on that. I'm going to go back to my presentation. So this was fun to look at, not really a face or a mask, rather than to see a certain area on the ground that is mapped using photogrammetry. Okay, now we're getting into the fun business here. So the fun business here is that we will talk about drone safety. Drone safety. Okay, so I have a video for you, and then we have a discussion. Let's go ahead and look at the video.
By advertising on YouTube, I catch the eye of my ideal customers at the right time.
So you guys get the idea. The idea here is that we're talking about drone safety, and I'm asking you what you have seen in this video, which you will find so many of them on the YouTube. Just type in drone fails, and you will see they have so many of those videos. I'm asking you, the drones, they have a problem with the safety. They contain like some sort of danger.
Yes.
Okay, and to be honest, sometimes it's even way dangerous that one you have seen. I'm gonna show you this video, and please let me know at the end what do you think about this video. Okay, so let's watch this.
Our vision is to make Canada smoke-free by 2030.
This is an insanely close drone footage of an Airbus A380 taking off from Mauritius. The person who filmed the video and flew the drone has been investigated. However, in spite of this airspace violation, it is still incredible to watch. Enjoy!
Okay, so I'm going to ask you, can you please comment on this video here in one word? Just one word.
Stupid, I guess.
Say it again, sorry.
Unsafe or stupid.
That's, I would say stupid is a good word, or also I can say it's insane. Like it's insane that you fly your drone close to the biggest commercial aircraft, the Airbus A380. It's a monster. I have been myself close to one of those. This is a monster in the air, monster. You can see it has even 2 floors. It's a super big, and those they create a huge thrust and huge air turbulence around them. Even if you are a stay away with your drone can be sucked in a second into the engine. Okay, and you know, guys, what happens if those are sucked into the engine? The engine, which will cost millions of dollars, will be broken, and you are in danger of about more than 400 individual on board of this aircraft. So that's really dangerous, and that's why, you know, the Minister of Transportation of Canada, I think he came. I heard him in the news a few years ago when he talked about drone, and he said we're not going to wait until we see a disaster. And Canada moved very quickly to put some rules on whoever going to fly some drones. Okay, now before we show you what are those like regulations in Canada, I have another very fun video to watch and to see what happens if you find those kind of intruded drones into your area. What you can do. Watch this, please.
So you've got your own business and you're doing everything you can to promote it. But
the number of drones flying in our skies has increased exponentially over the past few years. While there are many positive uses for these cheap and easy flying marvels, more and more drones are popping up in places where they're just not welcome. The question is how to solve the growing problem, which is now taking center stage in both boardrooms and backyards alike. Various systems are now being developed to stop intrusive drones. After all, just grabbing your shotgun and shooting one down isn't generally safe or legal. As an alternative, here are 4 ways to take down rogue drones. Take aim and take it down. Unwanted or illegal drones, beware. It's the Battle Drone Defender from Battle Corporation, a leader in applied science research, innovation, and manufacturing. Looking like an exotic space rifle straight out of Flash Gordon or the Buck Rogers sci-fi films, this baby means business. When a rogue drone appears, the user can simply aim and fire a concentrated cone of energy that disrupts the drone's remote control signal and GPS reception, thus bringing down the drone. The Battle Drone Defender can defend up to 400 meters of airspace against any unauthorized aerial surveillance. It's lightweight, portable, and believed to be safe. This ingenious piece of electronics may soon become far more widely used. However, the public isn't invited. Until approved for public and regular law enforcement use, it's currently only authorized to be used by specific U.S. government agencies. For more information, just visit battle.org. With drones becoming increasingly more involved in close calls with aircraft, unauthorized flights over military installations, and unwanted surveillance, the need for anti-drone systems is absolute. One promising invention is the Skywall 100 drone defense system from English startup company OpenWorks Engineering. When a rogue drone shows up saying, catch me if you can, Skywall, a 22-pound shoulder-mounted net cannon, can actually do just that. Skywall uses advanced computer-aided visual targeting system that can track and bring down the moving drone from up to 100 yards away. When the system locks on, Skywall fires a capsule containing a huge net and a parachute. Once the drone is captured in the net, the parachute brings the drone down safely and intact. In case of a miss or multiple drones, Skywall can be reloaded and fired in as little as 8 seconds. As of now, OpenWorks is yet to announce the price or release date of Skywall, but you can bet there will be plenty of interest. Find out more at openworksengineering.com. Another company developing drone net capture technology is Tice UAV Solutions with the Exippo anti-drone systems. Exippo doesn't need to wait for the drone to wander into range because it's a drone. Exippo is equipped with an onboard camera and can be guided to intercept, fire a net at the moving drone, and disable its propellers. The net can be fired freely, causing the rogue drone to drop to the earth like a stone. Or the net can also remain tethered to the Exippo, allowing it to carry its opponent back to base for examination. This one-sided high-tech game of tag definitely gives the home team advantage against some not-so-welcome visitors. Since the size of the net can be adjusted, development is also underway to adapt the Exippo for capture of manned aircraft, people, cars, even animals. Anyone thinking rodeo? In its current design, Exippo requires that the pilot fly manually, but Tice says they hope to create a version that can automatically chase and capture the target once it's seen by the pilot on the camera. For more information, visit TiceUAV.com. So far, we've seen some crazy yet effective innovations to combat the serious problems of rogue drones. In the Netherlands, however, police are investigating the possibility of using raptors to take down these intruders. No, we're not talking velociraptors like Jurassic Park, but we are talking about what many scientists believe are their descendants, predatory birds, specifically eagles. Leave it to the folks in the land of the Vikings to come up with such a talon-wielding solution. Police and raptor training company Guard From Above are teaming up to see if this can actually be done effectively. These birds of prey are absolutely beautiful when seen up close. But after one look at one of these majestic creatures snatching a drone from the sky, and you'll know it's not their good looks that makes them so successful in the wild. Raptor talons are extremely sharp and strong enough to crush bone. Though the bird's handlers say the eagle's tough legs and claws make it unlikely they'll be injured by the propellers, a trespassing drone may not be so safe. So if you're flying a drone in the Netherlands in a place where you shouldn't be, as they say in the airline industry, watch out for bird strikes. Well, the battle is on. So as long as people continue to fly their drones where they shouldn't, others will keep devising ways to help stop them. And if those methods that we've shown today are any indication of what's to come, no idea, no matter how strange it may be, is going to be off the table. So drones, beware.
Okay, so we're back. Hopefully this was fun for you. Now let's move on to the a very important part, which is simply flying your drone legally in Canada. So in Canada here, as I said, a few years ago, probably 4 years ago, the Minister of Transportation, just mentioned that they are not going to wait until a big disaster happens and they move forward to kind of regulate the drone operations in Canada. So really the one that places all those regulations, it's something called Transport Canada. I want you guys to remember this name, Transport Canada. So Transport Canada is the entity in Canada that regulates the flow, like the flight of drones. So it puts all the regulations. Now, what they did is kind of classify the drone into categories, and between 250 grams to up to 25 kilograms. This will be our discussion for today, okay? Less than 250 grams, this is simply the Transport Canada. They think it's too small. If it hits something, there is no danger around it. It just kills itself before it causes harm to this object. So this is really, there are some companies, they are very smart, and they know that their sale goes down because of all those regulations, because everyone will say, okay, drone is fun, I'll buy a drone. You pay $1,000, $2,000. Then when you fly it, oh my God, no, I need a license. I need to be somewhere. There are lots of restrictions. So they say, okay, no, I'm going to sell my drone again. So that's what happened in the last few years. DJI, they thought about to go around the regulations. So they designed drone called the DJI Mavic Mini, and right now they went to a Mini 2, and those drones, if you think about it, it is total of 249 grams, 1 gram shy of the limit. So 1 gram less than 250, and Why is that? Because simply if you buy one of these drones, no action required. You don't have to go through this pain of, for example, you have to register your drone, you have to get some training, blah, blah, blah. All of that is not required if you own a drone which is less than 250 grams. I'll share with you some story. In Japan, they have different rules. In Japan, the rules is 200 grams. Guess what happens? If you buy your Mavic Mini or Mini 2 from Japan, then it will be 199 grams. So they keep shrinking everything until it fits into the limit. Very, very smart. Now, let's focus on the kind of range that we are interested in, between 250 all the way to 25 kilogram. One of these example is DJI Phantom 4. The weight is 1,380 grams, okay? That's including battery, so you know. So those numbers, including the battery, and I can tell you the battery is quite heavy. I think the heaviest part of the whole thing is the battery. Now, above 25 kilograms, that's outside of our discussion. This is a very big drone, and it falls outside the discussion in my class. Surveying drones is simply in between 250 up to 25 kilograms. Even if you include LiDAR, even if you make a quadcopter, all of them, they will be under 25 kilograms. Now, here is what you need to do if you want to fly a drone between 250 grams to 25 kilograms. Number one, you must register your drone. Must, okay? So before, in the past, you know, the regulation, they said, okay, write your name on the drone and write your phone number. Write your name, your phone number. That was years ago, like maybe 3 years ago. I think in 2019, in June, they simply looked back and revised all the regulations, and this is not available anymore. So you, right now in 2021, you must register your drone. And by the way, it's not a big deal. This is the easiest step, because all you have to do is pay $5, add all the information of yourself and the drone. So you kind of registering a car. Okay, so you have a serial number, you have the model, you have your name, your address, your phone number, and so you register your drone. And so simply the website will give you a sticker where you can print and stick it on your drone. The sticker is not readable, have kind of a like a scan bar where it doesn't really show your name or your phone number, because that's a privacy issue. But it's simply in database, it connects you to this number, to your name and your address. So they know which is which, you know who owns which. Okay. By the way, if everything is okay while the drone you're using is not registered, you will get fined for that, and it's a big fine. If I remember correctly, it's about $1,000. So $1,000 just because you haven't registered your drone, which you pay $5. Next is, after you register your drone, which is the simplest step, you need a basic or advanced license. Basic or advanced license. And the basic license exam is $10 only. Very, very cheap. You know, I don't know how much now the driving license, but the test, but this is simply $10. And $10 is only for an online test. So you go for online test, you have to answer some questions like true and false. And then if you pass, then you get a basic or advanced license. Okay, $10 only. Now, I know some of you will say, okay, should I get basic or advanced? You know, please be patient. Next slide, I will tell you what you need to do. Sometimes you need a basic operation license, and sometimes you need an advanced license. Please be patient. In the next slide, I will tell you the difference. Now, if you fly your drone in an air-controlled space, and again, some of you will not know what is air-controlled space. Please be patient. But if you fly your drone close to a very sensitive area, then you must get something called remotely piloted aircraft system authorization, kind of approval before you fly. And that's coming from NAV Canada. NAV Canada. So right now, I need to remind you, you have here two names, Transport Canada and NAV Canada. So Transport Canada are the ones that they are simply putting all the rules. but NAV Canada are the one controlling the airspace. So in order for you, before you fly in a controlled airspace, you must get approval from NAV Canada. Now again, there are two words probably vague for now. I know that all of you doesn't know what is basic and advanced, and number two, what is air controlled space, okay, or controlled airspace. In the next few slides, you will know more about the basic and advanced operations and also about controlled airspace. Now, when you operate your drone, you could be using the drone in a basic operation or advanced operation. So I'm going to tell you right now what are the basic operation, and anything else, it is assembly, it is advanced operation. So what characterize the basic operation are three things, and they have to happen, all of them. And look at my slide. I said you meet all three. So the three of them must happen. And if all of them happening, then it means I am performing basic operation. And if I'm performing basic operation, what license do I need? Any help? If I'm performing basic operation, what kind of license do I need?
Basic.
Exactly, it's a basic license. And if you are violating one of these rules or all of them, then it means you're performing advanced operation and you need advanced license. Okay, let's look at those conditions. Number one, you fly in uncontrolled airspace. Again, one more big word. What does it mean, uncontrolled airspace? So please leave this for now. Number two is you need to fly your drone more than 30 meters from any bystander. Bystander, again, what does it mean bystander? The definition of my bystander is below in my slide. We'll talk about it in a minute. But you need to be away from those bystanders by at least 30 meters. The last condition is you need to fly, you cannot fly above their heads, okay? Above their head. So you cannot fly above people's head. Otherwise, if the drone fall down, it may kill someone or hurt someone. Now, as I said, need to remind you, if you violate one of these conditions, then you are doing advanced operations. I'll give you an example. Let's say you are away from air-controlled airspace, but you are required to use your drone to take a video footage for a concert. So you have to fly above people's heads. I'm asking you, in a concert, are you doing basic operation or advanced operation? Although you are away from any controlled airspace.
Advanced.
Advanced, and advanced, you must have an advanced license, and I will talk about it in more details later on. Okay, now let's define what are qualified as bystander. Let's say, guys, let's say pandemic is gone and we go back to school and I'm in my class and I'm taking my class. I give them introduction and I have all the requirement to fly my drone in SAIT. I'm asking you, my class are bystanders or no? When you read the definition, you will know what do I mean. My 30 students in my class, are those classified as bystanders or no? They are not bystanders.
They are.
No, they are not. Look at the definition. It refers to anyone that is not directly associated with the operation. So they don't know what's going on, okay? So this excludes the pilot and the crew. So if I have a crew, pilot and crew, those are excluded, okay? However, if you have somebody that's passing by and he doesn't know what's going on, this is referred as bystander, okay? So I think the next slide is to tell you what is simply classified as controlled and uncontrolled airspace. So I want everyone to look at my screen where there is a map. Can you tell me, please, right away, this map is for Edmonton or for, for Vancouver or for, what do you think?
Calgary.
This is for Calgary, and you can see here, you can see Nose Hill Park. It's a big area, green in the middle of Calgary. I'm asking you, what are those red circles? What are those red circles? I know for now, nobody will know, but looks like those circles, some of them, they are centered around Calgary International Airport. Do you see that? Calgary International Airport. So the circle is centered around the airport. Why we circle around the airport? Because those areas are approach area for airport. So when an aircraft is trying to take off or land, simply they will have to go down and they will simply be into this space. And this space is simply called control airspace. Okay, it is controlled by NAV Canada because those are kind of regulating the traffic in the air. So I'm asking you, you think those are, it's a good idea to fly my drone in the airport?
No.
No, huh? So what happens here, we call those red circles and the area included are called controlled airspace. Outside that, it's called uncontrolled airspace. For example, let me ask you, okay, Aspen Woods, is that controlled airspace? Aspen Woods, that's in the west of Calgary. Or
No,
Signal
it's
Hill.
not.
Okay, so that's uncontrolled airspace. So I'm asking you, if I fly my drone in Signal Hill or Spring or Aspen Woods, 30 meter, like let's say I'm in a park, I'm in a park, and in pandemic, so nobody's around, so my drone is away 30 meter from bystander. Am I doing basic or advanced operation? So look at this,
Basic.
uncontrolled airspace, away from bystander by 30 meter, not above bystander head.
Basic operation.
Thank you, sir. And if I'm performing basic operation, what do I need? I need only a basic license, which is nothing more than a test that you can write online, like true and false, with $10 only. Now, let me give you another extreme. What if I am trying to fly my drone in Nose Hill Park? Nose Hill Park, okay? Am I performing even in pandemic and it's, let's say there is no people around? I'm asking you, am I doing basic operation or advanced operation?
Advanced.
Advanced. So what takes me to fly my drone in advanced operation? I'll tell you what takes you. Number one, you must obtain an online license. Online license, okay? Which is just $10. It's a test online. But that's not enough. You must go to a ground school. Same as you're driving your car. Two tests. One is a knowledge test, and the other one is driving a car real on the street. So you must go to ground school where you can get your exam just like your car. So advanced license is for sure is more difficult than basic license. Anyone can get basic license, by the way, not very difficult, but advanced license, you must do an online test, plus you do a ground school where you need to fly your drone. Now, I just want to mention something before we leave this slide is that those, they come with radius. So what is my radius? Here we go. The radius is here on my slide. The radius of those circles is 5.6 kilometer for airports and 1.9 kilometer for a heliport. Now, what is heliport? Simply, it's a little area designed to land and take off of helicopter. Okay. Now, where are those in Calgary? You will be surprised that we have so many circles in Calgary. You see them? There are so many small circles of radius of 1.9 kilometers. One is very obvious. If you live in the southwest, there is a Rocky View. You see Rocky View. Do you see the Glenmore Reservoir? The Glenmore Reservoir on the south, like the south of Glenmore Trail. It's where my cursor is, this Glenmore Reservoir, and close to this one, it's Rocky View Hospital. Every hospital has its own like heliport. So you draw a circle around the center of the heliport, 1.9 kilometer, and that's called controlled airspace. Okay, again, if you look under my slide, there is a link where simply it takes you to NRC, which is Natural Resources Canada, and simply this gives you an interactive map where it shows you anywhere in Canada where are those circles. You can zoom in and you can zoom out to simply see where those control space are. Okay, I think I can use control. You can see I'm doing this right now. If I zoom into Calgary, this is where I took my snapshot. Okay, for example, look at this. If you live in Silverado or Mid-Nabor, I'm asking you, is that controlled airspace or not? Those are the South Calgary, Milroy, Shaughnessy, Midnapore, and Silverado. Those are controlled airspace?
No.
No, it's not.
No.
Okay, perfect. So now you know what is controlled airspace, and we're very close to finish our discussion today. Now, there are some stuff that even if you have all those requirements, you must pay attention and follow those regulations from Transport Canada. Okay, very important. Huh? So now let's say, yes, I have a license and everything is right. Huh? What I need to do while flying my drone. So that's why I call this slide here while flying. Number one, keep yourself and others safe. Very important, because drones, they are fantastic, they are marvelous, little small devils, but remember, they sometimes cause some harm. Number one, where you can see your drone, fly your drone, where you can see your drone all the times. You see the bolded line? So I wrote it already in bold. You must see your drone all the times. That's called the visual line of sight, VLOS, visual line of sight. It means you must keep the drone within your visual line of sight all the time. So what does it mean? Can I fly my drone in a cloudy day, foggy day, cloudy day? Can I do that? Like
No.
foggy, like I cannot see. Can I fly my drone in a built up area by myself? Like just by myself, I'm standing in one area and the drone will go back and forth and sometimes will be occluded by the building. I'm asking you, can I do that? No, you can't. And by the way, this has to be with your bare eyes. So you shouldn't use any video feeders or binoculars, okay? Now, I know some of you will say, oh my God, wait, that's so complicated. It means if I want to fly a drone in SATE, I need to make like a few different flights to avoid being occluded by the building. I don't think you have to do that. So how can I do that while I need to maintain my visual line of sight? You must hire a visual observer. So visual observer, kind of a co-pilot. So you are standing one place where you can see the sky in one area, and your visual observer or helper will be in some other areas, and you can hire as many as you wish, one or two. Between the visual observer, they must talk to each other, although they cannot see each other, but they must talk to each other. Typically, they have a radio like okie-dokie, where they can say, okay, you know what, everything is okay, or maybe no, you must take control of the drone right now because there's a problem, okay? So you can overcome this problem because you want to maintain visual line of sight all the time. You can hire a visual observer, a helper, so you all the time, the drone will be either in your visual line of sight or your visual observer line of sight. Number two is you must maintain 122 maximum elevation in the air, maximum 400 feet. And I'll tell you something that you'll be surprised. Your drone, like for example, my drone, which is Phantom 4 DJI, can fly 5 kilometers away from me. And my controller can still control the drone. 5 kilometers. Can I fly to the maximum distance, like 5 kilometers? Can I do that? So let's say in the manual of DJI tells you the maximum distance is 3 miles. Can I do that? Can I fly my drone 5 kilometers from myself? No, you cannot. The reason why you cannot, because it has to be in your visual line of sight without binocular. And I can tell you, a human eye can see a maximum of 500 meters. Otherwise, your drone will be so small and you cannot see it. Okay? And in terms of height, for sure, you can go way more than 122 meters with your drone. Way more than that. But the regulation said maximum of 400 feet or 122 meters in the air. And by the way, so you know, you can put this in your app and your drone will never fly more than 400 feet. Number three, away from bystander by minimum horizontal distance of 30 meters or 100 feet. Away from any emergency situation. Let's say you have police operation. You have fire forest like operation. You have to be away from all those emergency operation. You have to be away from airport and heliport by those radius. That's if you have a basic license. If you have advanced license, you can even fly in the airport. So if you have advanced license, you can fly in the airport itself. That's okay. But if you have advanced license, but if you have a basic license, you must be away from those airport and heliport circles. Outside controlled airspace, that's only for basic license. You are away from other aircraft. Okay, so if somebody is flying a drone, then you have to fly away from those drones. Now here is I think this is my last slide, I think. So I'm gonna show you about the penalties. If you violate all those rules, you simply have to pay a big fine. The fine goes from 1,000 all the way to 15,000, depending on if you are individual or if you are corporation. Corporation, they are penalized way more than individuals. If you fly your drone without drone pilot certificate, $1,000. If you fly an unregistered drone, marked with your name, with this tag, then 1,000. You know what? I will leave you read those on your own. Just look at how much you could be in trouble if you are not following the rules. And then finally, here on my slide, I show you all the resources you need, all the websites you need if you want to go get all those exams and register your drone. I provide here you a link for all those, including how you get your license and how to register your drone and apply for permission to fly in restricted airspace from NAV Canada. Now, any question, Lucas?
Yes. Is there a way that these drones can help us to calculate or evaluate the 30 meters of distance? How can I be sure that I'm actually...
I didn't get your question. Calculate what?
Is there a way that using these drones can help us to evaluate or calculate the 30 meters distance? How can I be sure that actually I'm 30 meters away from something or someone?
The drone has a GPS. So once the drone flies, it records. Can you mute yourself, please? Mute yourself. So when the drone takes off from one point, it recorded where it flies, like XY. And then as it goes away, it has a GPS. So it knows the XY as well. So it can always monitor the distance. And on the screen, you always see how far your drone from you are right now. Did I answer your question? So the answer is yes.
Okay, thanks.
Any other question, Ryan?
So if you're less than 250, you can ignore all that stuff? Is that what that was?
No action required. No action required. Those regulations are designed only for drones between 250 and 25 kilograms. If you are below 250, you're good to go. If you are above 25 kilograms, you are abided by different rules, and it's really complicated because those are not really for civil use. Those are probably for military use. Okay. Any other question, guys? Okay. If you have no question, again, thank you for watching, and I will see you guys on next Tuesday. Thank you so much.
Thanks.